Alright, welcome back to Uni1 Email API's YouTube channel. In this series we're diving into how to send emails using Ruby. So far we've covered the two main methods for sending emails, using SMTP and using email APIs. You've learned what they are, how they work, and when to choose each one. Today we're going to take the next step and focus on the tools, the Ruby libraries that make sending emails easier, both in Rails projects and in plain Ruby applications. Here's the key. These libraries act as a bridge. They help you build and send emails without worrying about the low-level details. Whether you're using Rails built-in ActionMailer or a popular Ruby gem for non-Rails projects, you can configure them to send your emails through either SMTP servers or API endpoints. In this tutorial, we'll explore those libraries, how to set them up, and how to send emails efficiently in different Ruby environments. Alright, let's dive in. We'll start with ActionMailer, the built-in email solution in Rails. It's a small MVC abstraction layer focused solely on sending emails. For each type of email, you create a Ruby mailer class and separate views for text and HTML versions, then simply call a method to send or queue the message. Since it's integrated into Rails, you get environment-specific settings, background job support, and testing helpers right out of the box. We created a complete production-ready guide. Follow the steps given for a Rails 7.1 application. Replace placeholders with your real data. Step 1. Configure SMTP settings. First, tell Rails how and where to send emails by updating the development and production environments. Then you set the SMTP server address, port, username, password, authentication method, and enable TLS with start TLS. Timeout values help avoid hanging requests, and you can set a global default from address. Make sure to keep sensitive data like usernames and passwords in environment variables. Never commit them to your repository. Run the Rails generator to create a mailer class, for example. Bin Rails generate mailer user mailer. Rails creates the mailer file, views folder for templates, and a basic test file. In your mailer class, define public methods representing each email type. For instance, a welcome method sets the recipient, subject, and exposes variables for the templates. Step 3. Write email templates. Create two templates with the same base name, one for plain text and one for HTML. Rails wraps these in a multi-part email so clients without HTML support can fall back gracefully. Step 4. Add attachments optional. Inside your mailer method, you can also add attachments with ease. Rails automatically guesses the MIME type and sets the file name for recipients. Inline images are supported too, with special syntax. Reference it in HTML with this line. Step 5. Preview emails in the browser. Now let's move to Step 5. Previewing the email right in your browser. This is super helpful during development because it keeps you out of real inboxes while you're still designing. First, make sure configuration setting is enabled. Next, we'll create a preview file so Rails knows what to show. Finally, start your Rails server and head to this URL in your browser. Click on User Mailer Welcome and you'll see the email exactly how it renders, including both the HTML and plain text parts, as well as the raw MIME output. Step 6. Send emails now or later. Use Deliver Now to send immediately or Deliver Later to queue emails for background processing. In development, the queue runs in line, but in production you configure a real background job adapter like Sidekick. This allows retries on failures without blocking your script. Step 7. Test email deliveries. Rails provides helpers to test that emails are enqueued or sent. Use assertions in Minitest or RSpec to ensure emails are delivered without relying on external services. Here is a code for Minitest and a code for RSpec. Rails automatically clears ActionMailer-based deliveries between tests. That way, each test stays isolated and doesn't depend on any external email services. Step 8. Handle errors and edge cases. Now let's talk about handling errors and edge cases when sending emails. First, timeouts. SMTP timeouts can raise net open timeout or net read timeout. If your app can't afford to crash when sending fails, always wrap Deliver Now calls in a rescue block. Next, invalid email addresses. Bad addresses will bounce, no matter what. To catch the obvious ones early, use a quick format validation like this before sending. And finally, attachments. They're base 64 encoded, which means they increase your message size by about 33%. That's important, because many providers reject emails over 25 $25 total. With ActionMailer, all email logic stays inside your Rails app. Configuration is centralized, and mailer methods feel like normal controller actions. Templates use familiar Rails view tools like ERB or Slim, making personalization easy. Attachments and inline images integrate seamlessly using standard Ruby objects. Deliver Later works with ActiveJob, providing background retries and scheduling with minimal code. Built-in previews and test helpers let you design, debug, and test emails without sending them live. This makes it straightforward to ship production-ready emails, keep them versioned, and evolve them alongside your Rails application. Now let's switch to standalone Ruby email gems. Not every Ruby project uses Rails, but many still need to send emails. Whether you're building a CLI tool, a background worker, or a simple rack app, you'll want a mail library that doesn't depend on the full Rails stack. One of the most mature and flexible gems for this is simply called Mail. It uses the same SMTP settings we discussed earlier, but wraps all the low-level protocol details in a clean, Ruby-friendly domain-specific language. Thanks to its conventions, even a short script can handle email headers and MIME parts correctly, making it ideal for lightweight projects. Sending emails with the Mail gem. Start by installing the gem. You can run gem install mail or add this line to your gem file. Next, configure the delivery method by creating a setup file, for example, mailerconfig.rb. Here you require the mail gem and set up SMTP with your provider's details, including hostname, port, username, password, authentication, and TLS settings. These keys correspond exactly to the SMTP settings we covered earlier. If you'd like to learn more about building and sending plain text emails, working with attachments and inline images, or exploring advanced features like building, testing, and scheduling emails, make sure to check out our next video. We'll continue showing you how to use Ruby for your emails effectively, both with Rails and non-Rails. All the information with code and detailed explanations is also available on our blog. The website link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tutorials. See you on Uni1 YouTube channel.